In this exercise, we'll be looking at solving linear equations with one unknown. What do we mean by that? A linear equation is something where the variables involved are to the power of 1. We've given you 3 examples. m minus 4 equals 8. So there's just a single m there. Minus 4 equals 8. M does not have a power written on it. The power is really 1, but we don't write that power when it is 1. Second example, 4y minus 3 equals 17. The third example, a plus b equals 0. There is no powers on them. Beneath them, there is 3 examples of non-linear equations. So we've got x squared plus 3 equals 9. The squared is a power, so it is not linear. The second nonlinear equation we have there, c equals 16 minus d squared. There is a squared on the d, so it is not linear. The last one we have, x cubed minus 3 equals 4. There's a cubed, a 3 as a power, so it is not linear. So how do we solve linear equations? There is a process. So you can see set out is a 5-step process. We will be using inverse operations. Inverse operations are operations that are opposite to another operation. For instance, the opposite to plus is minus, the opposite to divide is times. We will talk about those in a moment. We follow the reverse order for BODMAS. We keep the equations balanced. That means what I do to one side of an equal sign, I must do to another. So if I had x plus 3 equals 4, if I said I'm going to take 3 away, I must do that from both sides of the equal sign. So x plus 3 minus 3 is x. 4 minus 3 is 1. That tells me x is equal to 1. Step 4 says, state the final solution. I've just done that, x equals 1. Check the solution is correct by substituting. How would I check if this is correct? I know x plus 3 is equal to 4. I have found x is equal to 1. So if I go 1 plus 3, that equals 4. So yes, 4 is equal to 4. I know what I have done is correct. In this table, you're reminded of inverse or opposite operations. If we have plus, the inverse to that is minus. If we have minus, the inverse to that is plus. If we have times, the inverse is divide. Divide, the inverse is times. Squaring, the inverse is square rooting. Square root, the inverse is squaring. So when you carry out these problems, you're doing SADMIS, that is the reverse of BODMAS. So add and subtract, then divide and multiply, then indices, then brackets. Here we have an example, and this example is done in 2 ways. 4 times x minus 3 equals 24. One way to do this problem is to multiply the brackets out first. To do that, we go 4 times x, which is 4x, minus 4 times the 3, which is 12, equals 24. Now we want to eliminate the minus 12 so that we're left with a 4x by itself. So the opposite to minus 12 is plus 12. What I do to one side of the equal sign, I must do to the other. So I add 12 to both sides. 4x is equal to 36. 4x means 4 times x. So the opposite to multiplying x by 4 is dividing by 4. So I'm going to divide both sides of the equation by 4. 4x divided by 4 equals 36 divided by 4. The 4's cancel. X is equal to 36 divided by 4, which is 9. Now I want to check I am correct. I know 4x minus 3 must equal 24. So I've got 4, x was 9, 9 minus 3, substituting the 9 for the x. 4, 9 minus 3 is 6, 4 times 6 is 24. Yes, I knew 4 times x minus 3 should equal 24, so I am correct. A second way of doing this particular question, we've got 4 times x minus 3 equals 24, was to get rid of the 4 first by dividing both sides by 4. 4 times x minus 3 over 4 equals 24 divided by 4. What I've done to one side of the equal sign, I have done to the other. The 4's cancel, leaving me with x minus 3 equals 24 divided by 4, which is 6. I now want to get the x by itself. The opposite to minus 3 is plus 3, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. X is left by itself because minus 3 plus 3 is equal to 0. 6 plus 3 is 9. Like before, I have x equals 9. I have already done the check. Now I'll show you how to do this on the calculator. I'm on a calculator screen. Go to Menu. From Menu, we go to Algebra. From Algebra, we go to Solve, because we are solving an equation. Within the brackets, we type in the equation 4, then the brackets had inside them x minus 3. Move outside the first bracket, equals 24. You have to tell your calculator what it's solving for. So comma, and it's solving for x. Press enter, and there is your answer. This example looks more complicated. It's going to involve us collecting like terms. That is, terms that have the same letter. So we're given a question where we've got 6 bracket c plus 2 close bracket equals 2 bracket c minus 2. So what I'm going to do first is expand the brackets. I'm going to go 6 times c plus 6 times 2, 2 times c, 2 times minus 2. 6 times c is 6c. 6 times 2 is 12. 2 times c is 2c. 2 times minus 2 is minus 4. Now what I want to do is get all of my like terms to one side. The first step I'm going to do is get all my c's to one side. We have 2c terms, 6c and 2c. We additionally have 2 number terms, and by that I mean just numbers involved, no letter, 12 and negative 4. So I'm going to get my c's together first. I'm going to subtract 2 c's from both sides. 6c plus 12 minus 2c equals 2c minus 4 minus 2c. So I've subtracted 2c from both sides. On the left-hand side, I have 6c minus 2c, which is 4c, and I still have a plus 12, equals 2c minus 2c, cancel each other out, the c's have gone, and I'm left with minus 4. So now it's going to be a case of collecting my like terms where they are just numbers. I want to get the 4c by itself, so I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. 4c plus 12 minus 12 equals negative 4 minus 12. 4c, 12 minus 12 is 0, so it's gone. Minus 4 minus 12 is minus 16. So I now have 4c equals negative 16. So what I want to do now is get the c by itself. 4c means 4 times c, so I'm going to divide both sides by 4. 4c divided by 4 equals negative 16 divided by 4. So the 4's cancel, c equals negative 16 divided by 4, negative 4. There is my answer. I can check it by substituting into the formula. We had 6c plus 2. I found c to be minus 4, so I get minus 4 plus 2 equals 2 times negative 4 minus 2. If I am correct, both sides of that equal sign will have the same number. I've got 6 times minus 4 plus 2 is negative 2. 2 times minus 4 minus 2 is minus 6. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. They are the same number, so what I have done is correct. Now I'll show you how to do it with the calculator. We're now going to solve this equation in exactly the same method as we did with the first example. We go Menu, Algebra, Solve. Now we type in our equation. 6 bracket c plus 2, move outside the bracket, equals 2 bracket c minus 2, move outside the bracket. We now need to tell the calculator what it's solving for, the letter c, so we do comma c, press enter, c is equal to negative 4. Like I have just shown you, using the calculator, there is a summary here in the notes of the process. So if we were given the following, 5 times t plus 1, all divided by 2 equals 8, and we're asked to solve for t. With our calculator, we go to our calculator screen, menu, select algebra, and then solve. We then type in the equation. So the first thing I would have to do is put in the fraction, like that. In the top line, we then type in 5 bracket t plus 1, and in the bottom line of the fraction, the 2. Use the arrow key to move out of the fraction and type in equals 8. Now we have to tell the calculator what to solve for, so we then put in a comma followed by the letter, which was t, press enter, and it will give the answer.